Buying your medication is easy with City Drug Store's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drug Store's curbside pickup service.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
People make the world go
Good morning, St. Kitts and Nevis. It is indeed a beautiful Saturday morning here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and you're listening to 1FM 98.9 for another edition of Inside the News with Devon Cornelius. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, those of you who have tuned in via Radio Land, of course, those of you at home and abroad, and those who have joined via social media, Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much for taking time of your busy schedule, to be a part of our Inside the News program, only on 1FM 98.9. We're going to say thank you to our sponsors, and we'll be back shortly. Stay tuned.
Insurance Company Limited, where you get more coverage for less.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
People make the world go
Good morning and welcome back to Inside the News on 1FM 98.9. I'm your host for this morning, Devon Cornelius, and I'm here with another edition of Inside the News. For today's edition, we'll be looking at the Kittitian that was detained for illegal entry into St. Kitts and Nevis. And yesterday on our Voices program, Friday, May 14th, we had some representatives of the St. Kitts Golf Club, Mr. Zeke Percival and Mr. Darian Fleming, who used the opportunity to plea and to protest for, or against, rather, the fee increase for golfing here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And these are two of the major, in my opinion, developments that we will be looking at this morning for Inside the News. The numbers to call later in the program are 466-09-89762 and 662. Remember, those of you can join us via Facebook and YouTube. Facebook at Win Media SKN. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So earlier this week, people in St. Kitts and Nevis was a bit, let me say, frightened when they heard of the news that someone entered the Federation illegally. So they did not come through our legal port of entry. And so concerns were raised, questions were raised as to whether this individual is positive for the coronavirus. People were anxious to know what was the COVID-19 status of this individual. People were anxious to know, where is he from? Did he come alone? How did he get here? These were some of the questions that were raised. And so we were given an update from the Superintendent of Police, Cornell Henry, at the Wednesday NEOC media briefing, where he said, well, this individual arrived via a stolen vessel. That was a vessel that was reported stolen in Antigua and Barbuda. And as it is now, they have captured the individual, whose name has not yet been released from the police. We made contact with the police this morning. I spoke with Superintendent Cornell Henry, and he indicated that they are still investigating the matter. The Ministry of Health has started a contact tracing activity. However, the press release that came out from the police noted that the individual tested negative for the coronavirus disease, and he is now at a government quarantine site under guard, as the press release stated, and they will test him again at the end of the quarantine period. Now, the questions that are being raised from members of the public are, what is his name? We understand that he's a Kittitian. He's from here. He's 26 years old, but we don't know his name. We don't know what he does for a living. And these are the information that we don't know about someone who entered our country illegally. Now, you would be alarmed to see or to hear that a Kittitian entered St. Kitts illegally. Essentially, as I said before, you did not enter through a legal port of entry. You did not come through the airport. You did not come through the seaport. And so, Mr. Henry said they will be liaising with the authorities from Antigua and Barbuda to investigate this very serious matter. This very serious matter. Other questions. Did he come alone? When we spoke with the police said they are still carrying out in their investigations, and information such as that, it has not yet been released. And so they don't know whether he came alone. They don't know if he would have dropped off people at different locations around the Federation. I'm not saying he did, but these are possible questions. And what are some of the charges that this man will face? I know you're listening, and you may have your questions that you may want to pose publicly. And so I'll give you that opportunity to call and pose your questions. I'll give you that opportunity to be a part of this discussion this morning on Inside the News. So listeners can get a feel of how the situation is. Because we heard about it, it was all over social media for a day or two. There was a buzz in social media. Today is now Saturday, May 15th, and it's basically a little talk on this side of the road. Someone came illegally. He was on the run. The police captured him. He's now in quarantine under guard, and that's the end of the story. I think whenever situations like these happen, the police need to come forward and speak to the public right away. Keep people informed with what's happening. Because we're in a pandemic. We're battling and grappling with the effects of coronavirus. And so the major concern was whether he's positive or negative. As I said before, according to the police press release, he has tested negative. He has tested negative, and he's currently in quarantine. I'm going to play a clip from a conversation I had with the Superintendent of Police, Corporal Henry, this morning. Let us play that clip.
No, we don't have any further updates. Still matter. Still on investigation. We have to liaise with our counterparts in Antigua. We have to liaise with customs and immigration. So it's a multi-agency investigation. I can't give any further update at this time.
Okay. And have you guys been doing any contact tracing?
Yes, the Ministry of Health is doing our contact tracing exercise.
That was a short discussion I had with the Superintendent of Police, Corporal Henry, this morning with regards to an update on the situation with the man who entered St. Kitts and Nevis illegally. The police detained him, and that took place in the Buckley's area sometime after 3 a.m. on May 13th. These are some of the questions that have been raised, and we hope in short order that these questions can be answered. If he came alone, I mean, these are very, very important questions. The phone lines are open. You can call us 466-0989-762-662. You can also send us a WhatsApp on 662-2204. We'll take a break to say thank you to our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll have more on this developing story.
TDC Automotive is paying for you. Deposit? We're paying. 3-month installments? We're paying. Pay nothing for 3 months because we are paying. Take a moment, catch your breath, and roll out with ease. Save over $20,000 off your new Toyota Hiace because TDC Automotive is paying. Get your Toyota Hiace today. TDC Automotive, #1 for a reason. Terms and conditions apply.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
People make the world go round.
Welcome back to Inside the News. We have our first caller. Caller, good morning. You are on the air.
Hey, good morning, Devon. How are we doing?
Good morning. I'm doing fine. And you?
Oh, you're giving God thanks, boy. Thanks for the negative, but I'm coming to that. Good morning to all the listeners at home and abroad. It is good to be alive and to give God thanks. And when I heard the matter, I said, you see why we need to vaccinate. We are busy saying, no, we ain't got no corona. But when you have people sneaking in, well, I'm from the village, so once you get into a certain area, the Limekeel Bay is, you could say, kind of secluded, eh? And if he is from that area, he had enough time to move from one household to another one, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I kept thinking, when he was found at Weir, who all put into quarantine, because it seems as though only him alone has been put into quarantine so far, which seemed to suggest he owns a house here.
Well, when we spoke with the police, they said they're doing contact tracing, so they don't know if he came into contact with anyone else. And so that is what the
That's what I'm
Ministry of
saying. In
Health.
that case, he would have to have his own house.
Right.
You know, but we are talking to our people overseas. We know you're anxious to come home. It only take one. It only take one. Because if he was positive, so a lot of us who hesitating, oh, we ain't got nothing, so I don't see why you must take any, darling. While we're sleeping, the devil working, eh?
Mm-hmm.
The devil don't hold up. And those of us who are encouraging people, because people come to people. Look when the Haitian came. People have contacts with local residents who seem not to understand the seriousness of the matter. So when you're in contact and encourage people to come into the country illegally, that go for the Spanish population to anybody here, Jamaican, everybody. It is good to say we don't have it, but you never know for sure. So a lot of us who hesitating to, I want a vaccine because we have none. By the time you're ready to stampede, what the quantity they have may be expired. What you gonna do? So please, in the name of country above self, please do not encourage anybody, be it your mother, your father, your sister, your brother. You all want to come home, the country will be here. May God have mercy on all of us. All right then.
Thank you so much for your contribution, Ms. Henry. We are still taking your calls here on Inside the News. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. The numbers to call are 466-0989-762 and 662. Call us and be a part of this discussion. We are talking about the Kitishan who entered St. Kitts and Nevis illegally. And looking at what could have happened is, what if he was positive for the coronavirus? And so it goes back to the importance of wearing your face mask and following the non-pharmaceutical measures of keeping yourself safe from the coronavirus. And just imagine if this individual was positive and integrated into the community, attended an event, mixed and mingled with people. Just imagine what would have happened. And so it goes back to us always being on our guard, even with the authorities always being on their guard, following the protocols, making sure that we do what we have to do to control the spread of the virus. As the caller said, people would want to come home. But does that mean you should jump on a boat and enter the country illegally, knowing fully well that the country has protocols, COVID-19 protocols that you would have to follow? And so it would have made more sense for you to save your money, buy a ticket, come home and quarantine. No, you're going to be faced with more charges. You're going to be faced with more charges, and you would have to pay more money because you enter the country illegally, and especially during a time like this. But the questions that our people are asking, did he come alone? I don't know. So I can't tell you whether he came with a friend or two, or a family, or a brother, a sister. I don't know. But these are still questions that must be asked. These are still questions that must be asked. But again, I want to pound on the importance of our people wearing their mask, following the protocols. Let's imagine he was positive and he had decided to go and catch a bus and come to Bastia. And all of us there, we're having a good time, we're having a drink. And you're there, and you don't even know if this person is negative or positive for the coronavirus. And so while we would want to say, as the caller said, we don't have no COVID, we're safe, we're good. Yes, we have protocols that says for people who have been vaccinated, you quarantine for 9 days. Those who have not been vaccinated, you quarantine for 14 days. Those are the protocols. But all of us still have to be on our guard because people would try to enter the country illegally. He tried. And thank God he was apprehended by the police. And so during a time like this, people coming from countries that have community spread, countries that are grappling with the effects or trying to manage the cases of coronavirus, we have to be on our guard. And so the police said that they're carrying out their investigations and they're hoping that they can find out more information in short order. As it is now, we don't know the name of this Kittitian who entered illegally. All we know, he's from St. Kitts. He's 26 years old. He entered illegally via a fishing boat that was reported stolen. And the police caught him in the Buckley's area. That is the information that we have received from the police. And we will stay on top of this because the people must be updated with regards to a very serious matter such as this. The phone lines are still open. We're still taking your calls for us to have a conversation on this. Let us take a break to say thank you to our sponsors. We will be back shortly. Stay tuned.
Gift for Dad's birthday? Click. Ooh, Janice's retirement party? Click. Outfit for my girl's wedding? Click.
With TDC Airbox, you click, we ship. Register for your free U.S. mailbox today and shop all your favorite stores online. Enjoy the convenience. Free consolidation up to £10. Competitive rates. Free package tracking account with live notifications. Free delivery and, of course, excellent customer service. Visit our website at tdcairbox.com and register today. For more information, visit our offices at the C.A. Paul Industrial Site in St. Kitts and Penny's Industrial Site in Nevis. Follow us on social media at TDC Airbox. TDC Airbox. You click, we ship. Terms and conditions apply.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
People make the world go
Welcome back to Inside the News. I'm your host, Devon Cornelius. We have a caller on the line. Caller, good morning. You are live.
Devon, it's me again. Since nobody calling, let me ask the questions. Now, yesterday, on another show, on another radio station, someone called in to say that both of the Coast Guard vessels were on dry dock. I don't know if they have three. So maybe we need to ask the Coast Guard what are they using to monitor our shoreline. I heard they
Very good
mention
question.
of drones. It was mentioned that we could use drones to monitor.
Well,
Is
other
there
questions, not to cut you
Huh?
off, Miss Henry, but these are other questions that I would have. How many vessels,
That's what I'm saying.
how many
Because I've
vessels
been thinking
does the
about it.
Coast Guard have?
That's what I want to know. Do they have other vessels? And if not, what are they using? They said they were going to use drones and something. What are they using? Because if this is, as the person said, if that is true, that is an invitation. And another thing, you know, our fishermen go out to sea.
Yes.
They come back. And when at first they said that they might have been intercepted, there was a lot of outcry. But you don't have to go to any country to pick up anybody. You could pick them out at sea, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder also if our fishermen are also, they clearly understand the peril of such a move, because you might have your family, you know, say, Lord, you could pick me up, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you sympathize for your family. But the overriding thing is the problem. Look at Anguilla. In most of the countries, is people come in.
Yes.
And so I want to know, well, maybe you could ask the question, is it true? And that both of their vessels are in dock. The person said, I can't see, I didn't see it. If they are, what are they using? Because as we know, the way circuit is shaped, you have a lot of coves you could go into over at the Southeast Peninsula. Who is monitoring the entry of vessels? Not just for the legal, but for the illegals.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been known and said that right in your town, either morning, I don't want to continue, people are put off and come ashore in Newtown, in Irish Town, open harbor. So we have got to take this thing seriously. And again, I say all of us who are hesitating, wondering if you need the vaccine. I put it in the vaccine, you know. Put it in the vaccine. We had better wake up. Because, you know, it makes no sense. You see people rushing in some countries, they're rushing in India now, they want vaccine, none there. They're rushing all over the place. In Angola, there was a big rush. Why wait when you rush? The person, you don't have to invite the person, you know. You know, Devon, you're home and you hear a knock on your door. You didn't send to call them, you know. But they know you, and they suspect, well, police ain't gonna think Cornelius have anybody. And our charge is laid against the person in whose home they were found. Especially if we didn't invite them, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's a lot of ramifications, you know.
Yes.
So when you're overseas and you feel you want to come home and you can't wait, think of your family good. Put your people above yourself, your country above yourself. So investigate that for me, because it's serious. They had to come down, they had to pass the Bastia Harbor.
Yes.
You know, Angola is over, Antigua is up so.
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't know if Antigua boat have our markings as ours do. You know, ours you could tell what country, but they think it's on Nevis.
Mm-hmm. I think when you license your boat or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, the boats are marked. So how could that boat pass all the way, come to the Nevis Channel, come all the way down to come into, and the person was seen 10 o'clock in the morning. 10 o'clock in the morning it was reported. Person had their suitcase on their head. And as somebody said, we like to take videos. How come they didn't take a video?
Mm-hmm. Good question.
And if the person is from the area, they know. I am from the village. Village is made up mostly of families. In Buckley's, you know where Buckley's is, right?
Yes.
Buckley's is to the west of the hospital.
Yes, yes.
And Limekeel and all where the churches, the Baptists, all down there.
Yeah, by the national emergency place there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all he has to do, he had to take the bus. He could just come up from the bay, walk straight up the road, and passing people.
But
somebody must have seen the face.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because when you're a close community, you would know if somebody is from the area or not.
Yeah, and much more, you have a suitcase, you're walking with a suitcase.
Exactly.
Maybe that is what aroused the suspicion.
Yeah.
And you could actually see down to Limekeel Bay from up by Fort Thomas. So there are people who know, because he was out from 10 in the morning till 3 the next day.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time, you know. Mm-hmm. So if you know he came by your house, please go let them check you. All right then.
Thank you. Those are some very, very good questions that you posed, Ms. Henry. They're claiming that the vessels for the Coast Guard are on dry dock. I don't know if that is true or not, so I am posing this question publicly. Is that so? I'm posing this question publicly, but I'm definitely going to follow up with a representative from the Coast Guard for them to confirm or deny that claim. We have another caller on the line. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, Mr. Cornelius, good morning.
Good morning.
From my observation, I want to believe that they have two big ones because remember some years ago that breached two of them over there at Frigate Bay because of the storm. So they have two big ones and I believe two little ones. Because sometimes you stay from home and you see them, especially during holidays and so forth, when before the COVID, there used to be patrolling along the shoreline, especially during where you find people were bathing, like old Frigate Bay, the Peninsula, all them places there. So I don't know if all of them are down, but from where I am sometimes, and I look across the bay, I would see the small one, the smallest one of them would be coming in. I haven't seen it now for quite a while, so I really can't say. Okay, well, the reason why I call, right, is that is all well and good, and I could understand people concerned about people going to get vaccinated. But I cannot ignore the social media because people posting all these kind of things on social media. Just this morning, I got 3 posts. One apparently come from somewhere, could have came in from somewhere, United States, lately. And there was one apparently from Jamaica, based on the accent. And the last one, I don't know where that is. But you have these people putting magnet on the area where they were vaccinated. And I would like to know, well, why would a magnet stick on that area where you were vaccinated if this thing is not a hoax? Because, especially the last one that I saw, that definitely is no hoax at all. People using this small little magnet that you have in the phone cases, and I have one, and I know of somebody who vaccinated, and I would like to, a friend of mine, a man, and I would like to know definitely if this is possible. And if it's not a hoax, then why is the magnet sticking to a person's arm where they got the vaccinated? And I would like maybe some doctor or somebody who would know to come on here some point in time and tell us whether this is possible, and if it is, why? Because I had a discussion this morning, and from what you hear, Mark, I'm not spreading false news. I'm just saying what I hear. That the AstraZeneca that we're using, it is believed that all the story about blood clot could have been generated by the other two, who apparently may see the AstraZeneca as a competitor because it is alleged, from what I heard, it's cheaper. I really don't know. But it's all well and good, right, to say go and take the vaccine. People are fearful in the days when we were vaccinated. We never had anything to tell us. They just herd you like cattle. They come into the school, you take the vaccine, you go home. In some cases, some people were sick, fever. I don't remember having a fever. I had this huge, the size of a 10-cent water boiler, whatever it is, on my arm. To this day, after all those many years, I still have this mark on my skin. Even with the tetanus, I know a friend of mine who stepped on some nails. I had one, I believe I know. I no longer have the vaccine in my system because I got injury with a nail. I got the first one, I got the second one, and I had one for 5 years, and then you go back and you have one for some length of time, and I believe by now that would have gone out of my system. But I'm saying all this to say that people are fearful. We so now saying that we're waiting on the Cuban vaccine. It's not easy to just give up yourself to something that there's so many stories. One minute you hear in some countries they're not giving anybody under 65, and they're not giving anybody on this. And that, I mean, it's really, Mr. Kennedy, it's really hard to make a decision. Every time I decide I'm gonna make a decision, something come and I say, "Bye, let me just." And lots of friends I call and say, "Well, you take the vaccine yet?" I know I may take the vaccine yet. So it's not easy to say go. Maybe we need a prodding like, well, I hope to God, no, I'm not going to say that. But it's very hard to just get up and take a vaccine without really, and it's not St. Kitts alone. I understand it's all over the place. People can't get the herd immunity yet. I was reading something about some country where they reach herd immunity and still the vaccine is rampaging in that country. So it's difficult for us to just get up and say, I'm going to take the vaccine. It's not easy. That's my input for now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, caller, for your contribution. With regards to the video you made mention of, I've not seen that video, but if you can get a hold of it, you could send it to our WhatsApp at 662-2204. 662-2204. I've not seen the video, but if you get a hold of it, please send it to us, 662-2204. You are listening to Inside the News on Win FM 98.9. I'm your host, Devon Cornelius. It is 11:40. Today is Saturday, May 15th, 2021. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for being a part of our program. We have another caller on the line. Let us take this call. Caller, good afternoon. Good morning. Sorry, you're on the air.
Oh, yes, it's me again. You know, I find interesting that people say they're waiting for the Cuban vaccine. I wonder how much choice they have in Cuba. How much choice do they have in Cuba? You hear right now, they're testing it on the people. They're testing them. How much choice do they have? So that when, you know, they're testing it on the people, right? Actually, even if waiting, they're actually vaccinating with it. Are you aware of it?
Yes.
They actually vaccinate him before he passed by anybody. And that is the one we're waiting on. We have got to see too much false news out there. I mean, the one about magnets sticking on people. And just let the magnet, if your hand sweaty or wet, it stick. We have got to learn to be logical. Because every time I hear, I'm waiting for the one from Cuba. Before the one from Cuba passed, even by the Cubans, they're out there, they're dishing it out because what? There's an outbreak in Cuba. You know about that, right?
Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah, there's an outbreak, so they can't afford to wait. They cannot afford to wait until they get all the final pass. They're putting it in people's body. Is that you're going to get? Is that you're waiting for? And anybody could tell you in Cuba when they say vaccinate, they're bringing it by your door. Here we have, I don't want none, I waiting, I watching. Yesterday I listened to Dr. Patrick Martin. And on Fridays he goes to great detail. He goes to great detail to say what it is, what in it, the effect, whatever. And people listen and walk, well, I ain't hear nothing. I don't know. That's about pain in ignorance. But you notice what we know? We know all the false news, all the ridiculous videos. I mean, they know that, but they don't know the facts. The COVID team, Dr. Wilkinson, I believe he's weary now. I think the man tired. Dr. Sebastian is worn out. So many other people worn out. Explaining, they go to all extent. They demonstrate that they take it. So if anything in there, I get it. You don't have, well, you ain't take it so. People demonstrating, look, we get it. But when you waiting, what you're waiting for, if the man was positive this morning, a lot of you would have been waiting by the clinics then. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for your contribution. It is 42 minutes past the hour of 11. You're listening to Inside the News on 1FM 98.9. If I may comment on that, it seems as if the conversation is shifting a bit, which is fine. But if I may comment on that, I remember we shared an article here at 1FM about the AstraZeneca vaccine with claims that it may be causing blood clot. And people say we're stopping the vaccination process. But it goes back down to people don't read. You must read. People don't read. And that was the issue. They did not open the article. They did not read the story. So they just run with it. I think we have a caller on the line. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
You know, Megan, with all due respect to Mrs. Henry, I always admire and listen to what she has to say. But she always come over as if she knows and nobody else knows. Nobody at all. Many times she's called out to that on other programs. She know it all and nobody else know. I have this feeling. I have to go by my gut feeling. My gut feeling tells me right now, I'm not ready for it. I'm not saying I will not take it, but I'm not ready for it. And so because you have gone and taken the vaccine, that doesn't mean that I'm supposed to go. And that doesn't mean I'm less, well, I don't want to use the word I want to use. But that doesn't mean that you're right and I'm wrong. Is a decision that I have to decide, sit down and say whether I want to take the vaccine or not. And I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I'm just telling you, because what I do now, when I get these things, I send them to friends of mine, people who have not taken it, who are the same wavelength like me, but not to people who to discourage people to take the vaccine. I mean, if I'm taking the vaccine. You need sometimes to understand that's my opinion, that's my feeling, and I'm going to stick with it. Sometimes you need to understand that you don't know it all. Whenever you come and you say something, everybody needs to believe what you say. No disrespect, Mrs. Henry. Thank you.
Thank you, caller, for your contribution. What I would say is that people would have their own choice, and if they feel that they should take it, they'll take it. We have another caller on the line. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, man. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks.
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in a little bit on specifically, firstly, about the vaccine. There's a lot of hesitancy. Like me, I'm not a proponent of the vaccine, firstly, and I was pretty hesitant at first, but I took my pops to the doctor, and the doctor advised him to take the vaccine. So basically, at that point, I made my personal decision to take the vaccine as well. You got that?
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
I've taken my second dose. I've taken my second dose of the Pfizer, April 12th. That shot, I took it about 2 p.m. and the only side effects I had, me personally, I had some chills, like about 3 o'clock-ish in the morning. But other than that, I got maybe tired because, I'm going every day still. I got a little bit tired the next day, and, at one point, I rested for like 3 hours, But with that said, I'm good. Everything went well, You must expect some type of side effects. But for me personally, I believe the vaccine is safe. For those persons who are hesitating and waiting for the Cuban vaccine, I just want to ask them maybe 2 questions. You think that vaccine going to be perfect? You think that vaccine ain't going to have any side effects? You know what I'm saying? Because remember now, persons was waiting for that Johnson & Johnson shot right here in America. And when that shot came, when that Johnson & Johnson was approved for emergency, they had to stop it because of some side effects. So when that, and on top of it, that Cuban vaccine, it is not even approved inside of Cuba itself. If you listen to what your lady caller said a few minutes ago, they are administering that vaccine because they're in a position that they have to rush it now. But inside of Cuba itself, it appears that the vaccine is not even approved. So they're gonna get kickback from WHO. That's definite. Everybody knows that. WHO might not approve that. So if Cinquis and Nevis is saying that they're only going to use vaccines that's WHO approved, apparently the Cuban vaccine might not be able to use the Cuban vaccine in Cinquis and Nevis if it doesn't get that WHO approval. So that's part of my contribution. And I have another thing I wanted to mention. On top of your news item yesterday, there was a news item about a local golf course that increased like fees.
Yes,
in order
that would have
for-
been part of our discussion for today. We're out of time, so we'll take it for the second half of our program.
Okay, so I'll wait to hear some remarks from some of your callers at the second half specifically about that, because what I wanted to get to say about that is the locals in St. Kitts and Nevis, they got to pay attention to what's going on, because if you is a golf fanatic and you're a person that plays golf and you cannot access a golf community in your own country because of some skyrocketed fees, that's not very good, man. And that's my contribution to that. And I'll wait for the second half. All right, thanks, man.
Thank you so much for your contribution, caller. It is 11:49. You're listening to Inside the News on 1FM 98.9. What I don't like is when, let me bring an example. People would see you for the first time in 2 years. You ain't married yet. You ain't got no children. Where you walking? And these kind of fasting questions. That is my opinion, right? And I have witnessed people tell people that they're naive because they've not taken the vaccine. I've witnessed people talk down on others because they have not taken the vaccine. I am not here to encourage you not to take it. And I'm not here to encourage you to take it, because it will be said you are not a medical professional, so you shouldn't be here telling nobody whether to take the vaccine or not. All that I am saying is that don't treat people less than because they decide that they don't want to take it or because they want to take it. That is their personal choice. That is their personal choice. So I am not going to tell you that you're foolish because you've not taken the vaccine. I'm not going to look down on you because you've not taken the vaccine versus taking the vaccine. That is not my thing, and it's not going to happen. But we have another call on the line, so we don't have a call. It's 11:50. We're going to wrap up at 12 for the headline news. We have a call? We have a call on the line. Let's take this call. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, hello, good morning.
Yeah, I remember when the outbreak started with the COVID-19. Cuba was the first to send doctors all over the world to treat and help all the countries around the world. And they were on to something, some medicine they had. And they was getting positive results. I don't see the hesitancy and the bashing of people bashing Cuba like that. America didn't send the doctors around the world. China didn't send the doctors around the world. It was Cuba. I mean, the doctors reach America, they reach as far as China, they reach as far as, I don't know, all corners of the globe. I think Cuba was on to something, and I think the vaccine maybe a bit stronger than the rest. So I think we should give it a chance, because they were on to something, and people need to think. Cubans who helped everybody first. The first set of people to get help. They send the doctors all around the world was Cuba, and everybody was accepting them. So why Cuba come with a vaccine and everybody bashing it like the vaccine them is in trial phase. They're testing them on people, just like how Cuba testing the one on people. So I don't know people need to think. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. If I may piggyback off of what a caller said before, the health professionals are out there and they're trying their best to share information about the vaccines, the advantages of taking the vaccine, you name it. Our local doctors here, members of the task force. And I won't lie, what irritates me is when people say, man, I know nothing about no vaccine. Man, I don't know about no vaccine. I don't know nothing about it. I don't know what's in it, out of it, behind it, beside it. I don't know nothing. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine that you'll say that you won't take it. And I ain't gonna vex with nobody for that. But I will see people sit down and listen to these discussions. And after listening to these discussions, they're gonna get up and say, They ain't know nothing about the vaccine. So that is something that I can't really wrap my head around. I can't understand it. You know, I really, really can't understand it. But at the same time, you should not be looking down on people because they've made that decision that they don't want to take the vaccine. Because that is their personal choice. That is their personal choice. So give them a break. That is how I feel about it. We had a very interesting conversation for our first half of Voices. We started off with the Kitishon that was detained for illegal entry. This was not really part of our plan to have a conversation around the vaccine, but this person entered the country illegally, and questions were raised as to whether they are positive or negative, and so that is why we're all the way here in this part of the conversation. But we have a call on the line. Let's take this call. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. I just want to briefly say, it's not people are so much questioning the vaccine, but it's the ethics of the people, big pharma, that produce these drugs. They have failed us in so many times. Why you should trust them now? Don't you think there could be cures for things like cancer and AIDS and many other illnesses, high blood pressure and diabetes? But it's a big money business. I mean, everybody reads. A large percentage of people read. A lot of people do fact searching and things like that. Let's bring opioid into question. It was approved by the FDA and many other health organizations that doctors would put into your body, knowing what it was made from and how addictive it could be. What happened? Hundreds of thousands of people died from it. New people were dying from it, but failed to do anything about it. Now look what's happening. All the lawsuits and things like that, billions of dollars are going to be paid to people who suffered from this drug. And many other drugs. There were many other drugs. So it's the ethics, a big pharma that is really hindering people. Because then, no, lots of things popping up about blood clots and different things, and people are dying. But yet, nobody is certain what is happening. Nobody is certain what's going to happen in a few years down the line. I've been vaccinated from a kid, but these are vaccines that was proven for many years before they came into distribution. And they worked. You know, they worked. But no, they got something that they're saying, well, okay, you still could get the COVID, you still could spread it, and things like that still could happen. Why not encourage people to build their immune system? Why not bring down the cost of food and make food more readily available so that people could eat right? Why not advise people how to nurture their diet in order to build their immune system? The obesity rate in St. Kitts is very high. I heard a statistics, I stand to be corrected, that some 80% of people who die on this island die from these diseases. Come on. Give us a break. I'm not against the vaccine, but give people a chance who not decide to take the vaccine now and just want to see what the outcome is for now. What's happening in Seychelles? We know what's happening there. In Cuba, all these other vaccines were trial on people. But nobody say anything about that. Cuba has been proven to be one of the most professionals throughout the medical fraternity. They got lots of professionals. They stand strong with it. But because America got an embargo on them and they're still doing so well, why you think they can't produce something that would overthrow Pfizer and Moderna and AstraZeneca and these other vaccines. Give us a break. Let us hang on and see what's happening before people bring down people who take the vaccine, bring down people who don't take the vaccine. Thank you.
Caller, thank you so much for your contribution. We are 1 minute away from the end time, and I want to close by saying that I don't think this should be a style and fashion thing. I can take it because this person who is a politician take it. Oh, I see this person take it, so I can take it. It should not be a style and fashion thing. Go and inform yourself. Get some information. Listen to the health experts. Because I don't know nothing about the vaccine, so listen to them. Listen to them. Go and get the information. But don't just get up and run, go take the vaccine because somebody popular take it. Don't do that. That is my opinion. You are listening to Inside the News on Win FM 98.9. We'll be back for the second half from 12:30. Stay tuned. We have some more in store for you.
Found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and Development Bank.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs, and make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world. Whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous, you can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air. We get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises, telephone number 466-9595.
Everyone struggles at times. Even we too have our own struggles. Do you have a loan at the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis and have fallen behind on your payments because of financial difficulties? Have your financial situation changed? If your answer is yes, visit the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis or call 465-2288, extension 1101 or 469-5416 to make an appointment to discuss our debt evaluation and restructuring plan with one of our qualified officers. We are committed to working with you to make a sustained positive difference in your life.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With the Win Headline News, I am Kevon Brown.
And I am Devon Cornelius.
Making the headlines: Minister of Education, 2-day midterm break and no test of standards. In Barbados, help is on the way for ex-tourism workers to receive their outstanding severance. In St. Lucia, the state of emergency will be extended next week. Come Monday, May 17th, the National Emergency Management Organization will be rolling out new curfew passes. Internationally, fighting between Israeli police and Palestinian demonstrators continue into the night in occupied East Jerusalem. Many set fires on the roads as security forces try to clear them out. There has also been increasing violence between Israeli Jews and Palestinian Israelis in what the president called a senseless civil war. Now, the details. All government educational institutions, including early childhood centers, primary and secondary schools, will have a 2-day midterm break from Thursday, May 20th to Friday, May 21st. Minister with responsibility for education, Janelle Powell, made the announcement on Friday, May 14th, after he explained why the decision was made.
We are very much aware of the demands placed on our teachers and employees in the early childhood centers, primary and secondary schools, especially during this year, as we grapple with challenges associated with the COVID-19 pandemic. Our officers in these facilities have gone beyond their custom call of duty, and we would like to ensure that they would not be burnt out. To this end,
Powell went on to point out a change to the national assessment for students transitioning from primary to secondary institutions.
To this end, it has been decided that there will be no test of standards for the primary schools this year. Instead, all primary schools will be responsible for the development and implementation of their end-of-year assessment under the guidance and support of the Curriculum Development Unit.
According to a release from the Education Media Unit, the same method of placement used for students transitioning from primary to secondary schools last year would be used for the placement of children who will enter high school in the 2021-2022 school year.
The approach that will be used will involve the review of students' academic record for grade 5 and the existing grade 6 record for the current school year. In addition to this, there will be a process of consultation between grade 6 teachers and secondary schools to allow for the complete review of students' performance.
The opposition Nevis Reformation Party's NRP Dr. Patricia Bartlett will face off with Premier Mark Brantley in the St. John's constituency in the upcoming Nevis Island Assembly elections. In response to a question about her chances of taking down the political juggernaut in the largest parliamentary seat on Nevis, the newcomer said she will leave the decision in the hands of the electorate.
It's not about me. It's about what I think. It's about the people of St. John's constituency and what they think. They think that all the wins that they have delivered to the incumbent has in some way improved their lives, their livelihood, and they're satisfied going forward that he is whom they would want to represent them. Then I would play the game and I would play it fair. I would always play it fair. I'm not going to try to cheat, to impose myself on them.
The incumbent has won local government elections on Nevis in 2013 and 2017 and is also the federal representative for the area after winning in the 2020 federal elections.
So I don't see any reason why I shouldn't join NRP just because they would have lost before. Because the thing is, history will show that when NRP wins, Nevis wins. But on the contrary, when we look at the other side, that has been winning and winning and winning, what has Nevis won? So on the other side, when they win, Nevis loses. So I am comfortable in the choice that I've made to join the people, in the NRP, in the Nevis Reformation Party. Because, like I said, winning, this is not an exhibition race that you just win, This must mean something. When you win, it should not just be about bragging rights. When you win, the people of Nevis should be able to benefit in a positive way, when you win. So I joined this team. We have everybody in this team now just happen to be new people. But I think, and I feel confident that we have shared principles. I think we have a shared vision. And most importantly of all, I think that we share a passion and a desire to pursue policies that would transform Nevis. Because, that was the basis on which the Nevis Reformation Party was founded by the Right Excellence of Simeon Daniel and his colleagues. So I feel confident that we're in a position to win. I think this is our season, and I think that we can win.
The Nevis Reformation Party, founded by Dr. Sir Simeon Daniel, father of the party's current leader, Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge, only won one of the 5 Nevis Island Assembly seats in the 2017 local elections.
In Barbados, help is on the way for ex-tourism workers to receive their outstanding severance. Barbados Today has the details.
Labour Minister Colin Jordan says government has not abandoned former hotel workers who are still to receive their severance pay. This week, ex-employees of Accra Beach Resort and the Hilton Barbados staged protests in a bid to receive their outstanding monies. Jordan says with reports that hotels cannot afford to make the payments, the National Insurance Scheme is likely to step in.
Now that we know that the payment that was promised at a particular time hasn't been made, then it is incumbent on the National Insurance Department to follow up with the employer. And if the employer is unable to pay, then the National Insurance Department will make that consideration in its own jurisdiction, within its ambit, and make any payments that the law allows it to make. And then the National Insurance Department will go after and make the enforcement on the employer.
Jordan, who made it clear that the employer is first responsible for paying severance, told reporters that government this week passed a measure to ensure workers receive their monies in a timely manner.
On Tuesday, we passed a small bill which allows for an order to be made to give some additional teeth to the expedited process. Some of the action has been taken already. That is to say, there's been some decisions already made, some adjudication, and some persons have received payment. But in the bill that we passed on Tuesday in Parliament, we made provision for a separate expedited process while also validating those decisions that have already been made. We just wanted to cover all the bases to make sure that all the actions taken by the National Insurance Scheme were valid.
Little Island, Big Barbados. That's the new brand unveiled by the island's tourism authorities at today's virtual launch. Tourism Minister Lisa Cummins declared that Barbados is open for business and safety is a top priority.
So this destination relaunch is what we're focusing here today. Getting Brand Barbados back out there is what we're focusing on today. Helping our people to inspire pride in who we are and to share that pride with global audiences. We have to encourage people who haven't traveled in 18 months to choose Barbados over some other destinations that perhaps are so encouraged by the fact that with their vaccinations taking place globally, that they're removing nearly all public health screening and testing requirements for entry into their country. That is not Barbados's way. Save Barbados is what we're prioritizing and what we're offering to our partners. We're offering new life into the arteries of Barbados for visitors and for our locals.
Today's launch comes on the heels of news that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has moved Barbados one notch down from its level 4 warning for travel to level 3. The tourism minister says it's good news.
Certainly, yesterday's advice from the CDC out of the United States that Barbados has moved from level 4 to level 3 is a positive signal. And it is a nod to the confidence from the United States, one of our major source markets, that we depend on each other in more ways than ever.
In St. Lucia, the state of emergency will be extended next week. Come Monday, May 17th, the National Emergency Management Organization will be rolling out new curfew passes. HTS St. Lucia has the story.
Acting Director of NEMO, Maria Medad, says the National Emergency Management Organization remains cognizant of the ongoing protocols and have made accommodations to facilitate the movement of persons who need to operate during the COVID-19 curfew hours.
Because of the end of the current curfew period, which ends on May 16th, NEMO has to reissue a new set of passes.
The extension of the state of emergency begins next week, and the passes issued in February are set to expire on Sunday, May 16, 2021. Medad says starting May 17th, the Royal St. Lucia Police Force will only recognize the new green passes for persons operating during the curfew hours.
Anybody who has any of the other passes and wish to request a renewal or review of their pass can do so by sending us an email at admin, admin@nemo.gov.lc.
Applicants must specify the reason for the use of the pass in the email to NEMO, and the request will be reviewed by staff of the organization. The email request should also include the name of the driver, the driver's license number, the vehicle number, and the position of the person in the organization making the submission. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.
We now bring you these international reports.
After days of depressing racial violence across Israel, Friday night in Jaffa brought a new low. Mobs throwing firebombs into homes, including that of 12-year-old Mohammed. He and his younger sister burned. His father said they'd been sitting in the living room when the Molotov cocktail was thrown in. He rushed Mohammed to the bath. Neighbors came to help. But across Israel, neighbors are turning on each other on a scale that few can remember. More gun violence in Lod, where 2 Jewish men were shot the previous night by Palestinians.
One of our guys tried to leave from behind the mosque, but he was shot. We don't know if it was the settlers or police or undercover forces.
The town has seen religious sites desecrated, a Jewish synagogue, a Muslim cemetery. The Prime Minister was there again on Friday.
Groups of rioters are coming from the Arab public and harming Jews because they are Jews. I am explicitly saying that this is not the entire Arab public, and not even the majority of the Arab public, but it is a significant minority that harms violently and also harms the fabric of life we have built over the years between Jews and Arabs.
And so to the crackdown, Israel's internal security agency detaining a senior cleric of the Northern Islamic movement for alleged incitement. Accompanying violent confrontations saw dozens more Palestinians injured, some critically. Netanyahu himself stands accused of fueling this fire, courting and legitimizing the extreme racist right at the last election, failing fully to tackle gun crime within Palestinian-Israeli areas for years before. In the occupied West Bank, a violent flare-up of a different kind, Palestinians confronting soldiers enforcing a military occupation. This was just west of Ramallah. This was Hebron. And this close to the illegal Israeli settlement of Beit El.
We're trying to defend our land. We have no arms, nothing.
As in Gaza and Israel, the toll mounted quickly. Israeli forces using live ammunition, shooting protesters dead, hundreds were injured. In occupied East Jerusalem, Jewish settlers and Palestinians faced off. One Palestinian man was shot and injured. As well as erupting in the occupied West Bank and continuing here in occupied East Jerusalem, this violence between Jews and Arabs is continuing to flare in Israel itself. The image that shocked so many earlier this week was the beating of Said Musa. He's now given an interview to Israel's Channel 13 TV, saying his assailants first asked him if he was an Arab. Yes, how can I help, was his reply. The simple, open innocence of that question now seems from another time. Harry Fawcett, Al Jazeera, occupied East Jerusalem.
Donald Trump might seem like a man enjoying semi-retirement, but his grip on the Republican Party hasn't slipped. Just ask fellow Republican Liz Cheney. She spoke out against him.
I will do everything I can to ensure that the former president never again gets anywhere near the Oval Office.
Her party repaid her by ousting her as the Republican conference chair, the party's number 3 leader in the House of Representatives.
Even though Donald Trump is no longer commander-in-chief, even though he no longer sits in the Oval Office, he still controls the party. He still wields enormous influence over the party. And what you're seeing are Republicans making a concerted effort to try to not only rewrite history, but also rewrite it in a way that centers everything around Donald Trump. And that's for good or bad.
Cheney was replaced on Friday by Elise Stefanik, who made no secret of where her allegiance lies.
I believe that voters determine the leader of the Republican Party, and President Trump is the leader that they look to.
Stefanik voted not to certify Joe Biden as the winner of the 2020 election, earning her the support of the man still claiming he won it.
This was a rigged election. Everybody knows it.
Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger says only a few of his colleagues really believe that Donald Trump won the last presidential election, but few are willing to speak out against him. So while the party is getting an injection of new leadership, the man who calls the tune remains the same. As for the man who, by every official count, did win the election, he seems to want to turn the page.
The Liz Cheney McCarthy thing is above my pay grade. I mean, I have enough trouble figuring out my own party all the time, let alone the Republicans.
But that could be difficult with his predecessor's constant criticism and his frequent hints that he wants a rematch in 2024. John Hendren, Al Jazeera, Washington.
It's not often that you see kids actually excited to get a vaccination shot, but that was before COVID and the confidence that comes with a vaccine.
I was glad because now I can be safer, and soon we'll be able to be out soon and do normal things.
I think it's cool that it's at school because I can see all my fellow classmates getting it, and then I know that people around me all have it and my whole district has it, so it makes me feel safer.
For their parents, finally some relief from what has been constant stress and fear.
Having been through 3 cases of COVID in my household of 6, I couldn't get my 12 and 15-year-old daughters that shot in their arm fast enough.
But she is in the minority, according to polls. About a third of parents want to get their kids vaccinated. The rest want to wait, will only do it if they have to, or they won't do it at all. The government wants more people covered to get close to herd immunity, and doctors are trying to combat any hesitancy with science.
While kids are less likely to have serious complications from COVID-19, there was a recent study that showed about a quarter of kids do have persistent symptoms lasting months after their initial infection.
Still, the World Health Organization believes this shouldn't be happening yet.
In a handful of rich countries, which bought up the majority of the vaccine supply, lower risk groups are now being vaccinated. I understand why some countries want to vaccinate their children and adolescents, but right now I urge them to reconsider and to instead donate vaccines to COVAX.
The Biden administration has given no indication that they are even considering that, given the political fallout would be fierce. So now in community centers like this one, all over the country, teens are being vaccinated. Up next, kids from 6 months old to 12 years old. That decision is expected in September. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, Maryland.
You were listening to the WinFM Headline News on 98.9. Our top stories were Minister of Education, 2-day midterm break and no test of standards. In Barbados, help is on the way for ex-tourism workers to receive their outstanding severance. In St. Lucia, the state of emergency will be extended next week. Come Monday, May 17th, the National Emergency Management Organization will be rolling out new curfew passes. Internationally, fighting between Israeli police and Palestinian demonstrators continue into the night in occupied East Jerusalem. Many set fires on the roads as security forces try to clear them out. There has also been increasing violence between Israeli Jews and Palestinian Israelis in what the president called a senseless civil war. Thank you for listening.
That was the WinFM Headline News. The WinFM Headline News was brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and Development Bank.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Everyone struggles at times. Even we too have our own struggles. Do you have a loan at the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis and have fallen behind on your payments because of financial difficulties? Have your financial situation changed? If your answer is yes, visit the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis or call 465-2288, extension 1101 or 469-5416 to make an appointment to discuss our debt evaluation and restructuring plan with one of our qualified officers. We are committed to working with you to make a sustained positive difference in your life.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world. Whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous, you can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air. We get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises, telephone number 466-9595.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs, and make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
People make the world go
Buying your medication is easy with City Drug Store's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drug Store's curbside pickup service.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
People make the world go
We are back for the second half of Inside the News on Win FM 98.9. I'm your host for this afternoon, Devon Cornelius. Welcome back. Good afternoon to all of you who are in Radio Land. Thank you so much for tuning in. Those of you who've joined via social media, thank you for your patience. Welcome back to Inside the News. We are going to take a look or touch on a topic we had yesterday during our Voices program, where we had some members of the St. Kitts Golf Club. We're going to head right into the clip. We'll have that played for you. It is Zeke Percival and Darian Fleming of the St. Kitts Golf Club. And they are speaking out against the major increase with regards to prices for golf. Here at Win FM, we made efforts to contact Minister of Sports, the Honorable Jonelle Powell. However, as it is now, we've been unsuccessful. We will continue our efforts to reach the minister to have a comment or to get a comment on these prices that were increased. Because truth be told, how can these prices go up without consultation? Without consultation with the association, with the members of the association, with the Ministry of Sport, even though that may not fall under the Ministry of Sport, or Sport, sorry. It is a sport, and something like this should be brought to the attention of the government. And so we're going to have this clip now. You will be listening to Zeke Percival and Darian Fleming, who are members of the golf club here in St. Kitts. Have a listen.
The golf course is open. That's a progress from what it was last time. It's now reopened. There is some issues still surrounding the whole golf thing. One of the upsetting things for me and for most, and if not all, of our executive and members is the 59% increase in the fees for nationals to play the game. Over the years, St. Kitts, we were always known for involving everybody. It was always affordable here in St. Kitts for most people, if not all, who wants to play the game. We always put good junior program in, so juniors could come and play up until they're 18, and if they go off to college until they're 25. We always have that good program in. But the 59% increase during this time, the COVID time, and just reopening, and paying a 59% increase on a golf course that's not the quality that it used to be. So paying for less, it's not going down well with me for sure. And so we're here to speak about it. I'm hoping that somebody with some listening ears who have voice to their powers may be will take the message to them, because it's what it is doing. It's killing the game. A lot of people are staying away from it because they're refusing to pay this high increase. And also not only the nationals, but the residents, they've been charged a 35% increase. So it's a sudden situation at the golf course at this moment.
Mm-hmm. And as you mentioned that, if I may ask, who made that decision?
That's the thing. According to the Frigate Bay Development Corporation, who's supposed to be overseer of golf and so forth in that area, we've been told that they had nothing to do with it. So apparently it's coming from I've been told it's coming from the acting golf director told me it's coming from the general manager at the Marriott, which is wrong. Because the agreement the board got to meet, you just can't get up and change fees like that. You know, it's been now, what, 2 weeks? 2-3 weeks?
About 3 weeks.
Yeah. So again, I'm disappointed that no one made a call yet to them and said, look, this can't be. Let us sit down and discuss this thing first before you proceed.
I'm glad that you made that reference about, having a conversation with the board, because my other question would be, was the association given the opportunity to protest against such a decision?
Absolutely not. You want to know something further? And I might get in trouble for this, but I'm going to say it anyhow. The golf course was reopened, even without the Frigate Bay Development Corporation notified.
Well, this is, I must say, disappointing.
It is. It is disappointing because, I mean, like I said before, I've been in golf for donkey years, from way back, from since ever. And I know how Mr. Sir Paul Southwell and Vince Morton, God bless the soul, they must be having a heated conversation upstairs, wondering how we here could allow this to happen. Because they fought for years over good rates for local, national, resident, and even our brothers and sisters from across the Caribbean. They fought for it teeth and nails for many, many years. And to just see it, the course closed for a year, then come back, then boom. I mean, we're not saying that sometimes you can't increase stuff and so forth. Right. But this time, in these hard time...
And such a significant increase.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And everybody's going down.
Without a conversation, without anything formal.
Take the Four Seasons. The Four Seasons lowered the rate tremendously to accommodate the whole situation. And Four Seasons Golf Course is in shape. And you come and you want a 59%. That is like you go to buy a hot dog. And the hot dog tastes nice with the relish and the meat and everything. And you go back tomorrow with the meat ain't in it, but they're asking you for more money.
No, what is the association doing? I mean, of course, apart from being here, but what is the association doing to have that decision change?
We tried many calls. Honestly, we made a lot of calls. We keep getting, we'll call back and not straight answers in my point of view. Not straight answers at all.
If I may add,
go ahead.
I would say that, as Zeke mentioned before, the whole situation is quite upsetting. The last time I was on air, one of the things I mentioned was the fact that the executive, because we function as the representatives for everybody that plays golf, it is incumbent upon us to take very careful steps to speak to, write to, email, call, message, WhatsApp, whatever the persons that we answer to, right? And every step that we've taken, the right step, has been met with either silence or no action whatsoever.
Yep.
When I heard about the price increase, and we've sat down and had meetings and so on, we would have immediately, the president would have sent messages, Zeke would have made contact and had conversations with persons face to face. But you would assume, as persons in leadership, when an issue affects the people that you are supposed to be caring for and looking out for, when it touches their heartstrings, the expectation is that some sort of immediate action will be taken.
That was Zeke Percival and Darian Fleming, both of whom are members of the St. Kitts Golf Club of the association, and they were our guests on Friday's edition of Voices right here on WinFM 98.9. The phone lines are open, but we'll take a short break to say thank you to our sponsors. If we have no calls. So we'll take a break to say thank you to our sponsors, and we will be back to continue our conversation. Stay tuned.
Insurance Company Limited, where you get more coverage for less.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
People make the world go
Welcome back to Inside the News on 1FM 98.9. I'm your host, Devon Cornelius. The phone lines are open. Numbers to call are 466-0989-762 and 662. Call us today and be a part of this discussion. And so you were listening to the clip before, Zeke Percival and Darian Fleming, who are speaking out against the increase in the prices for locals to play golf, a 59% increase. As I stated before, we made several efforts to contact the Minister of Sports, the Honorable Jonel Powell. We are going to follow up so that we can get a comment from him with regards to his take on that decision that was taken. We're hoping that this decision can be changed, because you would realize that while some people may not have an appreciation for the sport, truth be told, people come here just for golf. People make their home here. People have made St. Kitts and Nevis their home because of golf. People travel from miles and miles and miles and miles away because of golf. Our locals, our nationals, people from St. Kitts and Nevis, have benefited tremendously from golf. And so you're in a pandemic. Things are hard with people. Some people have been out of work for over a year. How do you increase the fees without consultation with the people, making sure that they are comfortable with the increase? And how do you even increase the fees during a time like this when people are out of work? And so I think that is going to negatively impact, or have a negative impact rather, on local people going to play the sport of golf. But I want to hear from you, our listeners. I want to hear your perspective, your view on this matter. And so I've opened the phone lines. You can call us at 466-09-89762 and 662, and you can be part of this conversation. You are listening to Voices. You're listening to Inside the News, on 1FM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Let me say good afternoon to all of you who have joined us in Radio Land. Of course, those of you who continue to join us via our social media platforms. You can like us on Facebook at winmediaskn.com, and you can also follow our YouTube page at winmediaskn. Visit our website at www.winmediaskn.com for more information about our programs, more about what's happening in St. Kitts and Nevis, and of course, what's happening regionally and internationally. And so visit our website today to get some more information. We also have our WhatsApp number where we do WhatsApp blasts. So when we post a story on our website, we send you via WhatsApp. You can just log on to our website, check out our website, drop your WhatsApp number, And as we post stories, as we post videos, you will be on the list to get those information. Earlier in our program today, we had a conversation about the Kitishan that was detained for illegal entry, who reportedly entered St. Kitts and Nevis via a stolen vessel, a vessel that was reported stolen in Antigua and Barbuda. And so a number of concerns were raised, questions were raised as to the COVID-19 status of that individual, whose name is yet to be revealed. So as it is now, we don't know his name, and we don't know where he worked. We don't know anything about the man. All we know that he's from St. Kitts and he's 26 years old. This afternoon, we are having a conversation about the fees that were increased for the sport of golf, and we will be entertaining your calls for this second half of Inside the News. I'm your host for this afternoon, Devon Cornelius. Call us and be a part of the discussion. Again, the numbers to call for those of you who are just tuning in are 466-0989-762 and 662. If you have no callers on the line, we have a caller. Let us take our first call for the afternoon. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello. Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm blessed.
Awesome.
You mentioned about the guy that they find down somewhere down Lankill.
Yes.
Was he alone? I would like to know. And they say he was negative, right?
Yes.
Did they check the home he went to? Did they check the address individual that was in the home there?
Well, when we spoke with the police, they said the Ministry of Health has been actively engaged in contact tracing. So they are checking to see who he interacted with, if he interacted with anybody. And also, they don't know whether he came alone or if he came with people. Those are questions yet to be answered.
As you see, that's why we have to be so careful. I have to continue wearing our masks because we don't know who is who.
Right, I agree with you, caller. So as it is now, they said they've been doing their contact tracing, and they don't know whether he came alone. I mean, on social media, you will see people are saying that it is possible that he came alone. It is possible that he came with people, but we don't know. We are waiting for confirmation from the police for them to say what the update on that is. But the good news is that he tested negative. However, so far, because they have to test him again after he quarantined, because he's in quarantine now at a government-approved facility under guard. And so I understand that at the end of that period, they would have to test him again.
Our bodies are ticklish. It's ticklish because I don't think they could monitor the ocean.
But you know, it's this incident is or should be an eye opener. Somebody said it may be an invitation, because if you realize you could get in so easy via a fishing boat, then that's an invitation to other people.
How many coasts how many coasts do we have?
I understand that we have about 4 vessels. We have 4 vessels. I don't know if they have any more, but that is my understanding. I'm yet to confirm that, however.
Recently, I've been hearing some helicopters and so I think we need to invest in a helicopter or something. Something needs to be done. Something definitely needs to be done.
Mm-hmm. Well,
We're doing well so far. And we don't want the lockdown, and we don't want to do what we're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, enjoy the rest of your weekend and be safe. And make sure you drink your water.
Yes. Thank you.
Instead of calling because I want to hear you laugh. Okay, bye.
Have a good one. Thank you so much for your contribution, caller. You're listening to Inside the News on Win FM 98.9. I'm your host, Devon Cornelius. We are still taking your calls. Call us at 466-0989-762 and 662. This is Win FM 98.9. So as it is now, caller, those questions, there basically no answer for those questions. Whether he came alone or not, we don't know. We're waiting for confirmation from the police after they have completed their investigation. And the Ministry of Health, as reported by the police, is doing contact tracing to see who he came into, if came into contact with anyone. So we will be doing regular follow-ups with the police to see what the status is. We have another caller on the line. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hi, good afternoon again. Your electricity went?
No, we have electricity here.
It was the radio station was off,
Oh, I
For a
think,
while.
yeah, we had some
I think it's
persons.
up on the level where the transmitters are there.
Yes, I think that is what happened. But electricity is here at the station.
When the gentleman was speaking, the station went off.
We apologize for that inconvenience. We did receive
so
a complaint
I just
from
turned
that.
back on. I kept turning back on and off,
Uh-huh.
I said, well, most likely you'll be online, but so I just turned back on, so I heard you.
Yes.
Now, yesterday you had the men from the Gulf Coast?
Yes.
That is a tricky thing. Who raised the rates?
As we had the conversation yesterday with Mr. Percivali, he said the rates were raised by the management at the Marriotts.
That is it. 'Cause that is what I know. Because the history. The government built the Gulf Coast. Mr. Southwell, in fact, when he was the chief minister.
Yes.
And I forgot what year, but Dwyer Astafan was the Minister of Tourism, and Dr. Denzel Douglas was the Prime Minister, of course. And he, whatever means he used, he practically handed the Gulf Coast over to the Marriott. And to make it worse, there was quite an uproar because before that, all the hotels in St. Kitts would advertise golfing as part of their packages, only to be told that they can only come there, their guests can only come there when it is convenient if the guest of the Marriott is not using it. Now you see what happened? They now claim that it is unprofitable. You had the Frigate Bay Development Corporation there, that used to manage it and do everything. But, we shall love investors that we hand over our birthright to them only to be kept off. Now, I have heard the Gulfman on different stations talking. But if you have handed it, what percent is it, 59%?
59%.
Now tell me, they ain't even 51, 59% of the thing they hand over to somebody. And then the Frigate Bay Development Corporation was to look after the grounds. Can't make no money. People are left. A lot of them, I don't think they get the severance pay yet. I can be corrected. But this is what our people like to do. The little uproar they had was from the hotels, Jakarta and the rest of them. The other people shut them out. Nobody went over there to protest. All these years. What is in the contract? Why we can't close it? You ever thought about that?
I like to see the contract.
And we need to talk to our leaders. Sometimes they think they're getting a deal and they hand over our country to people. And then they try to convince you that what they have done is in your best interest.
But as you say, we need to talk to our leaders. Sometimes you talk to them.
Yeah, they're doing it.
Sometimes you talk to them, they hear you, but some of them know it all, so they refuse to listen.
And not only that, that's not the worst part. The worst part is when people who are supposed to know better back them up. You understand?
Yes.
Oh, me send him out always going, Mr. Henry this, Mr. Henry that. I mean, we'll even this thing with the beach. Where you putting big stone in your face on your own beach, Put guard, some of our guards born here who know the law, telling you can't go across there. I recall one time I went over at a sharp place name. My husband and I took, my granddaughter was from Barbados. Over the peninsula.
Yes,
Sharp on it. the hotel over there, the restaurant. You know the name, right?
I'm not too familiar.
Anyway, we there bathing in the sea, you know. And to telling our grandchildren, this lady, one of the employees came out, miss, other people, they miss, you always have to go over, so you know. But in our sea water, eh? In our sea water. Telling us, no, you all can't bathe here, you know. You all have to go over so because we having something now. No, tell me. We on our own beach, in our own water, and then our leaders let them out, all of them. They're eating and drinking from the same people. How can you correct them when you're eating from them? So, you hear, the Marriott, this, the Marriott, that, the Marriott, and the Marriott give us work, and the Marriott take the country. Not the Marriott, you know, the owner of the structure, not the Marriott itself, you know. You know, the Marriott don't own the building, right?
Yes.
Marriott is leasing the building. Owner of that building there with the name on our street. All sorts of things. Now, who would have thought they talk about Blatter would have roll over in the grave and south with a walk up and down like a zombie? Our own people and then put at a disadvantage because you can't just go on the thing. Now that it is bankrupt, we call it bankrupt, nothing going on. Possible and they are asking to have the rates reduced. Who they supposed to ask? Go over by Marriott to picket it. Because you see, you don't see the contracts. So what the contracts say? If they're managing it, they decide the rates. The only thing left for us to do is to negotiate. Isn't that so? And all the golf, the golf lovers or golf players, it is in their best interest to lobby, negotiate, or take action. Because when it was going good, everybody was happy. We could no longer just go on and play. It was made for us, but then all of a sudden it wasn't for us. And you notice the layout of the golf course and the layout of the apartments around the golf course. Who designed for? Who designed for? And ministers or former ministers own apartment around it. Who are you going to? And then, they're going to tell you, well, you know, don't get yourself tangled up in the politics, you hear me? Don't get yourself tangled up. Talk as much as you want to talk like me. You don't owe nobody anything. Because the same one who protesting now going to be clapping next time. Same one, the same set. How much years now? 2000 or 2008 or 2000 something? To 2021? And we are the party for the people? And you give away the golf course and you try and take it back? So I don't even know what to say. All I say, go to who managing it, do your protest.
So who you say give you the golf course?
Dr. Denzel Llewellyn Douglas. And Dwyer Astafan was the Minister of Tourism, and he said publicly, he could call in today. He said he wasn't aware of what was in it.
But you made reference
you believe
to.
that?
Well, hold on. You made reference to a contract. Do you have whole?
You must have a contract if you're going to make an arrangement. Do you understand?
But you're saying that he gave over the golf course. Do you have any contract or anything to reinforce
you
that?
Want to start again?
Huh?
Do I ask if I'd like to call him? Let him call in and clarify. He was the Minister of Tourism. And in fact, you know, part of the blame should go to him. Because the meeting was held behind his back. And he was told of it. And what was it? He didn't even protest and said, Dr. Denzel, you got to change it. So to come and say, well, I did not know, and you're the minister in the cabinet, You're not even a senator. People voted for you. Let him call in and say what he know about it. I give him a challenge.
Thank you
why?
for
They were
your...
in until 2025. Why they didn't take it back? Because if you give somebody 59%, it even 50 to say you're going to pay back half. You're bound. Let me tell Dr. Timothy Harris and Matt Brantley, what contract and negotiation you do with things. They're going to outsmart you. They have more qualified lawyers. Our people are too timid. We can't negotiate. We don't look long term. We look at the short term. Oh, you know, they're going to get work now. Next thing you know, when you hand them the properties, they use it for something else. And then when you try now, the American embassy can come down on you. You know, you can't just take people private property. When they got some of it by unfair means. They're like big lawyer when you have to do business with certain enterprises. Get lawyers of equal quality. That's a quality. You know what I mean by quality, right?
Yes.
Get a lawyer. They're going to bring in the big-scale lawyer. Next thing you know, they take the whole country. And you're so glad to get a little hotel to give people work, a little this to give people work. You ain't even read it carefully. By the time you don't read it, they say, boy, well, sorry, but you put your pen and paper here. So the Gulf Coast matter, that should have been raised long time ago by Possible and them.
Well, let's look at the bright.
Everything
Let's look at the bright side. It's being raised now. That is the issue today,
The bright side.
and it is being raised. The bright side is the fact that it is being raised now.
I know. You know, you think about what is it, shutting the band when the horse done gone?
So thank you for your contribution. We want to take some more calls. Thank you for your contribution. Numbers to call are 466-0989-762 and 662. You are listening to Inside the News on Win FM 98.9. It is 5 minutes past the hour of 1. Today is Saturday, May 15th, 2021. You are listening to 98.9. I'm your host, Devon Cornelius. If we have no more callers, we will take a short break to say thank you to our sponsors for this program, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
TDC Automotive is paying for you. Deposit? We're paying. 3-month installments? We're paying. Pay nothing for 3 months because we are paying. Take a moment, catch your breath, and roll out with ease. Save over $20,000 off your new Toyota Hiace because TDC Automotive is paying. Get your Toyota Hiace today. TDC Automotive, #1 for a reason. Terms and conditions apply.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
People make the world go
Good afternoon, St. Kitts and Nevis, and welcome back to Inside the News on 1FM 98.9. I'm your host for this afternoon, Devon Cornelius. The phone lines are open, so you can call us at 466-0989-762 and 662. Be a part of our conversation today. This is Inside the News. Very interesting conversation that we are having. The callers are raising some very interesting points. Very, very interesting points. And we are continuing our conversation for today. So the topic now is with regards to the Voices program we had yesterday about our guest, Zeke Percival, Darian Fleming, protesting against the increase that they have said is unjust in the prices for golf. And for those of you who missed that part of the presentation, we have the clip here, so I'll just ask the technician to run that clip again. I want you guys to have a listen. The clip with Zeke Percival and Darian Fleming. We'll have that clip to run again. You're listening to Inside the News. This is 1FM 98.9. Stay tuned. We'll have that clip played for you again.
The golf course is open. That's a progress from what it was last time. It's now reopened. There is some issues still surrounding the whole golf thing. One of the upsetting things for me and for most, and if not all, of our executive and members is the 59% increase in the fees for nationals to play the game. Over the years, St. Kitts, we were always known for involving everybody. It was always affordable here in St. Kitts for most people, if not all, who wants to play the game. We always got junior program in, so juniors could come and play up until they're 18, and if they go off to college until they're 25. We always have that good program in. But the 59% increase during this time, the COVID time, and just reopening, and paying a 59% increase on a golf course that's not the quality that it used to be. So paying for less, it's not going down well with me for sure. And so we're here to speak about it. I'm hoping that somebody with some listening ears who have voice to their powers may be will take the message to them, because it's what it is doing. It's killing the game. A lot of people are staying away from it because they're refusing to pay this high increase. And also not only the nationals, but the residents, they've been charged a 35% increase. So it's a sudden situation at the golf course at this moment.
Mm-hmm. And as you mentioned that, if I may ask, who made that decision?
That's the thing. According to the Frigate Bay Development Corporation, who's supposed to be overseer of golf and so forth in that area, we've been told that they had nothing to do with it. So apparently it's coming from I've been told it's coming from the acting golf director told me it's coming from the general manager at the Marriott, which is wrong. Because the agreement the board got to meet, you just can't get up and change fees like that. You know, it's been now, what, 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
About 3.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
So again, I'm disappointed that no one made a call yet to them and said, look, this can't be. Let us sit down and discuss this thing first before you proceed.
I'm glad that you made that reference about, having a conversation with the board, because my other question would be, was the association given the opportunity to protest against such a decision?
Absolutely not. You want to know something further? And I might get in trouble for this, but I'm going to say it anyhow. The golf course was reopened, even without the Frigate Bay Development Corporation notified.
Well, this is, I must say, disappointing.
It is. It is disappointing because, I mean, like I said before, I've been in golf for donkey years, from way back, from since ever. And I know how Mr. Sir Paul Southwell and Vince Morton, God bless the soul, they must be having a heated conversation upstairs, wondering how we here could allow this to happen. Because they fought for years over good rates for local, national, resident, and even our brothers and sisters from across the Caribbean. They fought for it teeth and nails for many, many years. And to just see it, the course closed for a year, then come back, then boom. I mean, we're not saying that sometimes you can't increase stuff and so forth. But this time, in these hard time...
And such a significant increase.
Exactly. Yeah. And everybody's going down.
Without a conversation, without anything formal.
Take the Four Seasons. The Four Seasons lowered the rate tremendously to accommodate the whole situation. And Four Seasons golf course is in shape. And you come and you want a 59%. That is like you go to buy a hot dog. And the hot dog tastes nice with the relish and the meat and everything. And you go back tomorrow with the meat ain't in it, but they're asking you for more money.
No, what is the association doing? I mean, of course, apart from being here, but what is the association doing to have that decision change?
We tried many calls. I honestly, we made a lot of calls. We keep getting, we'll call back and not straight answers in my point of view. Not straight answers at all.
If I may add,
go ahead.
I would say that, as Zeke mentioned before, the whole situation is quite upsetting. The last time I was on air, one of the things I mentioned was the fact that the executive, because we function as the representatives for everybody that plays golf, it is incumbent upon us to take very careful steps to speak to, write to, email, call, message, WhatsApp, whatever, the persons that we answer to, right? And every step that we've taken, the right step, has been met with either silence or no action whatsoever.
Yep.
When I heard about the price increase, and we sat down and had meetings and so on, we would have immediately, the president would have sent messages, Zeke would have made contact and had conversations with persons face to face. But you would assume, as persons in leadership, when an issue affects the people that you are supposed to be caring for and looking out for, when it touches their heartstrings, the expectation is that some sort of immediate action will be taken.
Gift for Dad's birthday? Click. Ooh, Janice's retirement party? Click. Outfit for my girl's wedding? Click. With TDC Airbox, you click, we ship. Register for your free U.S. mailbox today and shop all your favorite stores online. Enjoy the convenience. Free consolidation up to £10. Competitive rates. Free package tracking account with live notifications. Free delivery and, of course, excellent customer service. Visit our website at tdcairbox.com and register today. For more information, visit our offices at the C.A. Paul Industrial Site in St. Kitts and Penny's Industrial Site in Nevis. Follow us on social media at TDC Airbox. TDC Airbox. You click, we ship. Terms and conditions apply.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
People make the world go
Welcome back to Inside the News on WinFM 98.9. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It is 20 minutes past the hour of 1. As you know, our program ends at 1:30. We have a caller on the line. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
How are you, my good friend?
I'm doing good. What about you?
I just heard my good friend Zeke with a touching thing. I, as a youngster, had a lot of good times over the end of Gulf Coast in the whole frigate area. And I'm very, very concerned with what's going on on the strip and the Gulf Coast now. Because when the Marriott come here and that vagabond boy went and tried to disrespect Dwyer concerning the Gulf Coast bill, a lot of golfers just lap their tail and I love it. I can't understand how Marriott could get say about the Gulf Coast and never looking after the Gulf Coast. In fact, I understand the government paying Marriott every month for the Gulf Coast. I don't understand what's going on. I want somebody who not call it and tell us, because this is troubling. And the guy is so right. In this kind of COVID time, you're going to talk about you want 55% to use Gulf Coast locals? And that means somebody mad. I got a problem with a friend of mine who I know in the early years. Whose story when you had no bar, only Anchorage was on the beach. And he got problem. His daughter got problem. To get assistance to build a beach bar back, to help the guy because the guy is sick, he's down. And some vagabonds watch you. Or you don't watch face, you born here. No playing the boat with me here, And who feels it will know that. Because it's people who born here allowing this kind of nonsense with white people over the southeast. Who ain't gonna get beam up on the Yorker, And if they could play short pitch, they're going to get hit. It's terrible. Miss Sylvine was just saying some things here, And a lot of people
what young people, let me tell you something. We got alone who we put in there to represent us, you know. We put a guy there in the early years, the man give us the Southeast, with best beach to drive with tourism, and I come and tell him things it's about drag a boat and a carry boat over there, over 4 years back. That boat's supposed to be back here roadstead. They have no car over there and give the taxi man they walk to carry all the people, and then they go eat. This is gang them talking because I don't watch this. Also tell me here who heal you. It's terrible. And Zeke, you gotta come look for Jam Down. Come on the port and look for me. Because I ready too early with you. We put people here to defend us and they gotta defend us. They got to defend us. Have a good day, my brother.
Thank you for your contribution. This 24 minutes past the hour of 1 here in our studios at 1FM. As you know, we're going to close off at 1:30. We are still taking your calls. The numbers to call are 466-0989, 762 and 662. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to 1FM for another edition of Inside the News. Of course, we will be back next week for another exciting edition. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. We are still taking your calls. Call us and be a part of this discussion. Let me just use this opportunity to say thank you to all of you who tune in week after week to be a part of this discussion. Those at home and abroad, those of you who follow us on social media, thank you for tuning in and thank you for being a part of this discussion. We are still taking your calls. If we have no callers at this time, we want to big up our sponsors. When we come back, we'll close out the program. We have a caller? Okay. We have no callers at this time. And these were some of the issues that formed part of our Inside the News program today. Very interesting discussion we had today. Of course, leading off with the Kitishan that was detained for illegal entry. A number of questions were posed by members of the public, callers to our program. And of course, we will follow up with the police to see what the status or if there is any update on the investigation. And these are what we're going to stay on top of to keep members of the public informed with what's happening. Again, thank you guys so much. We'll say thank you to our sponsors and we'll be back. For those of you who want to call in, we'll just take one more call. So you can call us at 466-0989-762 and 662. Let's take that short break.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drug Stores curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drug Stores curbside pickup service.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
People make the world go
We're back, but we're out of time. Thank you guys so much for being a part of our program. We always look forward to your participation. It is 29 minutes past the hour of 1. And so we're going to wrap up our program now. Let me say thank you to all of you who joined us, all of you who participated. Thank you so much for your contribution towards Inside the News. Today is Saturday, May 15th, 2021. Continue to play a part in keeping St. Kitts and Nevis safe from the coronavirus disease. Wash your hands, wear your mask, and follow the non-pharmaceutical measures to keep us safe and sound from coronavirus. I know it's hard out there. Many people are still trying to grapple, or many people are grappling with the effects of the coronavirus disease and the harsh impact it has had on our economy. And so we look forward to that day where people can go back out to work, particularly in the tourism sector, and where things can go back to a state or a sense of normalcy, where people can live their lives and do as we were doing before. But again, thank you guys so much, and until next time, stay tuned to WinFM 98.9. Have a super Saturday. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay blessed.